Boxing, more than any other sport, tends to create these seismic shifts and send these waves of emotion around the globe. Joe Louis did it, Muhammad Ali did it, for the Filipino people, Manny Pacquiao has done it.
This is a great opportunity and privilege to fight Bradley again. And I choose Bradley because he's different than before than we had the last fight.
Down goes Rios on an uppercut following 3 straight super solid body shots by Tim Bradley.
With Pacquiao and Bradley, their skills are so well matched that Pacquiao-Bradley 3 could very easily be the best of the 3 fights.
Both these guys have something to prove to themselves, for their legacy, for their history, for the rest of their lives. And you're going to see how people behave when they have that on the line.
I think he's going to come ready. I think he's going to come hungry. And I think that he's going to be set out to prove once again that he's one of the best fighters this era.
Look, the fire's coming. Are you ready for the fire? Look, we're firemen. Okay. We are firemen! You got it, Coach.
He knows he's on TV. He knows when the red light's on him. I think he likes acting.
I should know when the pressure, the light, he wants to call it the light is on. At the end of the day, I'm not a guy that's going to be taking selfies in the runway before my fight is going into the fight of the millennium. There's so much is on the line.
So, yeah. You think I care about what the freak, that guy that acted that way, that behaved that way, that I care what he thinks of me? No. I don't. I'm sorry.
Tim Bradley, going into the Manny Pacquiao fight, was always considered one of the top pound-for-pound fighters. He had wiped out basically the division, and Manny Pacquiao was a dream for him.
See Bradley doing his best to not let the moment get to him, but he is clearly tightly wound.
Back then, when I fought Manny the first time, I was a young guy, full of confidence, never been beaten. Felt like it was my destiny to beat a great champion in Manny Pacquiao. Felt like it was my time.
In the arena, they were playing Pacquiao highlights. Tim Bradley's highlights were ordinary fighter highlights. Pacquiao's highlights are once-in-a-generation highlights.
It was really nerve-wracking. I was super nervous going into that fight. With the media and the amount of media that I did, it just felt like I was getting ready to fight King Kong. I felt so nervous, I felt like throwing up. I was like, oh my goodness, I never felt this way before. Like, what am I about to get into?
One night, this incredible ride that Pacquiao's taken us all on will come to an end. Can Tim Bradley make tonight that night?
To be perfectly frank, I thought it was one of Manny's greater fights. It was a dominating performance.
Hard left hand by Pacquiao down the pipe. It's another straight left hand on the Bradley's jaw.
When you talk about a guy outboxing another guy, Manny outboxed him. I mean, it was no question. Manny throws that right jab, keeps the left hand back, and he was killing him with straight left hands all night.
Manny said he would run in the fight, and I thought he will come forward at times also, so we're ready for both.
Well, he wasn't only faster, his hand speed certainly was faster, but Manny was using angles like he did against De La Hoya, which he thought he was ahead so far in the scorecard. There was no reason to hurt the guy.
Manny seems to be taking the first 2 minutes off of some rounds and then flurrying in the third minute of the round.
Yes. I thought my jab was very effective. I thought my body shots were very effective. I thought a few of my uppercuts were very effective. I felt that Manny would come on later in the rounds, at probably like the last minute, and try to steal the round with his flurries, and he missed a lot of shots. There were some rounds where he was dominant, but there was a lot of rounds where he missed a lot of punches. And I controlled the action from the whole way through. I fought every minute of every round.
Hey, you're executing the left really nice. I want you to keep doing that. Every time he shoots that left, I want you to lean down, but come up with something, baby. You know how it is. This guy has a name. If you go the distance, you need to put up the extra work, man.
I was like, I'm right here with this dude. I've seen this before. It's nothing new. You know, this is not like I'm in here with God or in here with someone that's super special.
When I watched the fight with no vested interest, I thought that Pacquiao won. I thought he won.
At the end of the round, you say to yourself, who did more damage, you know, fighter A or fighter B? And that's who you give 10 points to, and then the other guy gets 9. And Pacquiao Bradley won. There was no question in my mind that Manny was doing more damage in each and every round. He won that fight big.
Jerry Roth scores about 115-113 for Pacquiao. CJ Ross scores it 115-113 for Bradley. And Dwayne Ford scores it 115-113 to the winner by split decision. And new WBO welterweight champion of the world, Timothy
Timothy Bradley has scored an upset split decision victory over Manny Pacquiao. God only knows how.
I think it's a one-sided fight, and then I was surprised when I heard the announcement.
Did you think you won the fight?
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. I'm showing professionalism, being professional, you know, in sports. When you lost, then accept it.
How does it feel to have the official verdict to have won, to have beaten Manny Pacquiao?
I mean, it feels great. It feels great, but I'm not satisfied. You know, you can hear the boos in the crowd. You know, everybody in the crowd think I lost the fight. I know it's predominantly Pacquiao fans, but you know what? Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
When I had a vested interest, I watched it and I turned the sound off. I saw at least 6 rounds that you could easily give to Timothy Bradley.
I thought that was a very, very close fight. In fact, sitting at ringside, I was one of the few people who scored it for Tim Bradley. I'm not going to quarrel with anybody who thought Manny won that fight, but I go nuts when I hear people say, oh, it's the worst decision I've ever seen.
I give Bradley 1, and if I'm really generous, 2 rounds.
What I told you. Yeah, you told me before. I know. I always told you, he's gonna run.
Yeah, you told me that.
He's gonna run, huh?
I said no.
Right. He's gonna run.
Yeah, 100%. I know who to listen to next time.
Gusto ko, rematch. Bahala, huminto ka na sa pagboksing. Ako ng nanay nag-decide, rematch kayo na. Punta ako, sama ako sa Las Vegas. Sama ako sa laban nyo, rematch. Daming nagalit dito sa Pilipinas eh. Lalo na sa Mindanao, galit, nagawayan ng mga tao. Galit sila, kay ikaw ang panalo, bakit silang natao? Nako, siniswerte talaga sila.
Huminahon ka, mag-usap tayo dyan pagbalik ko.
Tim Bradley wanted to be catapulted somewhere. And after the result of that first fight, I think it brought him lower than he's ever been.
So what did Tim Bradley do after the Pacquiao fight? Well, by his own admission, he was driven to depression by the response to the Pacquiao fight and the feeling on the part of so many that he was not, in fact, the winner.
I went into that fight, you know, with the game plan that I had to knock this guy out because of the circumstances from the first fight.
Bradley told Pacquiao, I'm going to knock you out. Pacquiao said, we'll see you in the ring.
I got out of my element and I wasn't myself.
The second fight that we had is, my memory is, I'm more improved than the first one. I think it's more punches that I throw that compared to the first fight.
Pacquiao landed a 1-2. Backs Bradley up. Goes to the flurry again. Pacquiao unloads a combination, driving Bradley back with the jab. Pacquiao lands a left.
The first 5 rounds of that fight, Tim was doing exactly what he wanted.
And Bradley with the right hand momentarily lifted Pacquiao off his feet.
He was leading on the judges' scorecards 3 rounds to 2. He was very well positioned as a superbly conditioned athlete to come on strong in the late rounds. Then he tore a muscle in his calf. He couldn't move properly, and what he was reduced to doing was backing into corners and hoping Manny would come in and Tim could then just hurl something at him, get lucky, and clip him on the jaw.
But as Harold Letterman pointed out, Bradley keeps backing up. Pacquiao feints, Bradley backs up.
It was a bad game plan because of the injury. I was trying to just stay in the fight. I was trying to just, give the fans what their money worth and be able to. I knew that I wouldn't be able to come back and really win that fight with the injury I sustained. But I was just putting on a show at the end.
Bradley's trying to pull the Marquez on Pacquiao, have him come in to set him up for the big shot.
Hard left hand by Pacquiao. Thunderous shot there. And another hard left hand.
It's backfired so far this round.
So when and where will the third fight take place?
I hope not too long from now. And where it takes place, I don't care. I just want to be there.
I got more respect for that fight than the first one. It was from everyone. They respect me a lot more for the way I fought. They never seen Manny get hit with a lot of shots like that.
Manny's a much more experienced fighter. He's a much more skilled fighter. I don't take anything away from Bradley, but he's not in the same league as Manny. And I think we proved it again in the second fight.
When you're beginning this business as a fighter or later on maybe as a trainer, coach, you aspire to be the best. I mean, that's what makes it all worthwhile, whether you get there or not. But you're trying to get the same place that people in the NFL, people in MLB, people in the NBA, you're trying to get to the Super Bowl. And when you're given an opportunity to get to the Super Bowl, you want to make the most of it.
Teddy Atlas has been in boxing a long, long time. He was one of Mike Tyson's early trainers as an amateur. As the story goes, Teddy put a gun to Mike Tyson's head after Mike had acted inappropriately with Teddy's young sister-in-law. Teddy has trained fighters like Shannon Briggs, Michael Moore. His history has been that he'll start with a fighter, he'll move the fighter along very nicely and develop him, and then there's a falling out.
Listen to me, you're not going to have a real friendly corner. I'm proud of you, but you're not going to have a friendly corner if you keep letting him go slow. All right? You're going to make him go faster? All right.
There are people who say that Teddy Atlas plays the camera when he's in the corner. I think Teddy Atlas is a professional, and I'm confident that whatever Teddy Atlas does in the corner, he's doing it to motivate his fighter.
In the years of boxing, I've never spoken to Teddy Atlas before. I've never been on his radio show. I never knew he had one.
We're talking about his last fight with Vargas, where he got hurt. So I asked, do you know why you got hurt? He said, I got hit with right hand. I said, but do you know why? And he said, could you tell me? So I told him.
He was like, what do you do when a guy squats down in front of you? I said, I don't know. He was like, you squat down with him. Every time a guy squats down in front of you, what he's trying to do, he's trying to rob you, Tim.